I started off young, real young. I had my first daughter at 16, so I didn't have too much guidance. I was out on my own at 16 because my mom, was like, that's your kid, you're out.
I worked at the Columbia Senior Center for 12 years. Was assistant manager then. Had a back injury and lung disease and had to quit due to health problems.
United we stand, divided we fall, but we're divided within. There's Democrats and Republicans as if they were Bloods and Crips.
We just kind of eat like maybe smaller proportion meals so that we could have, my children will be full, but we can't get like the extra snacks or things like that. It have to always be breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I was, before I was on disability, a realtor. Circumstances come about that I had to file for disability, and currently I'm on disability. So I have went from having a big income to nearly no income.
I got offended about the other night on the news when they said that most of the children, they was going to open up a new school in Columbia for the kids to go to school all year round for low-income children because most of them needed help with their education. They were the ones doing the worst in the school. And I got offended because all three of my children are straight A students and we are low income. We under poverty level, but they're smart children. So yeah, I got offended by that pretty bad.
I was raised in upper middle class income family. We owned our house, we owned our land. We used to make jokes about people at the dinner table who were on food stamps or welfare, driving their Cadillacs. I went to Mizzou on scholarship. I was a bright girl. I put myself through college. I became your child's elementary school teacher, and then I was perhaps your child's Title I reading teacher specialist. But then I became totally disabled.
I'm a mother of 4, single parent. I once was married and worked a job. I worked for an alarm company, and I also worked for Sprint. And then in 2001, my husband shot me, and he did it in front of my kids. And so I love it that these programs are out here because I am a single parent and now I'm on disability. So it's not like I just landed on disability. I did used to work.
So I know how it is not being able to go out and get a job because you're on low income, or you can't get a job for certain reasons because you don't have a high school diploma or GED.
My struggles was I grew up at the age, well, I had to grow up fast. I ended up having my first child at 15. My mother was killed when I was 12, and I witnessed her get murdered. After that, I went to a girls' home.
And because my mindset was I have to provide for my children, and I never received hardly any child support. And I actually worked for the state myself for 5 years. 3 of those was at the child support office.
You know, I feel like since I've lost my job that I have become the enemy of the nation. I use a cell phone that's free. I've heard that, oh, anybody can get that phone, and just about anything that I get that I need, because I live off of $750 a month. I'm disabled. Before that, I had a job working at a museum in New York, but on 9/11, I was covered from head to toe in the debris, and I hadn't been able to work since.
And now it's 2 kids and I have no, no money. They want to go do things, I can't do it. I've come to the fact where I try to get my car legal, and I drive around, you know, with my place not registered to my car because I can't afford it. Yeah, just to get back and forth to work and school.
We go to the food bank, we go to the Salvation Army. We get help from different churches with food at pantries. Food's probably my easiest source that I can get, but it's keeping the lights on and keeping the rent paid. There is no luxuries.
Wasn't expecting to shed a tear today because I try to be so strong. Then there comes a time to where you don't give up. I mean, you don't give up. You just keep reaching out to see what there is out there to help you.
I say about at least 100, but it's hard. And I get turned down all the time, but I still keep going. And it doesn't matter where I work at because anything beats a blank, especially when you're a single parent with 4 kids.
I just always feel like I have to advocate a little bit for people who work very hard. They work, but yet they have to have energy assistance and food stamps because they're not paid enough to live.
And I got to do the best I can while I'm here. But I just wish they would stop overlooking the smaller people, because that could be the next senator, the next school teacher. And I'm low income, but I'm always trying to find a way to give back. And it fills my heart to give back. I just wish they would stop overlooking us. And I'm sorry for crying, but I feel that way.
Maybe for people to notice how the low income people do live and how we worked all of our life. And then when something happens or you get sick and you have to be on disability, you're just like pushed to the curb. It's like you don't no longer matter.